Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, U.S. senior advisor and special envoy Jared Kushner revealed an overview of President Donald Trump's so-called deal of the century, prompting a battle of accusations between Israeli right-wing factions that are wary of the possibility in which they will have to make concessions to the Palestinians. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Zarif announced his resignation just one day after he laid out Iran's foreign policy in an address to the University of Tehran, in which he deemed multilateralism as a key ingredient to his country's success. The United Kingdom has announced its decision to include the political wing of the Iranian-proxy Hezbollah on Britain's list of terror organizations, a significant policy change that was labeled by the European Union as a national decision of a member state. U.S. President Donald Trump's senior advisor and special envoy Jared Kushner revealed that the American peace plan for the decades-old Israeli-Palestinian conflict is very detailed and will focus on drawing the border and resolving the core issues. In an interview to the U.S.-based Sky News in Arabic, Kushner provided an overview of the so-called deal of the century, yet boasted in the fact that the Trump administration managed to keep a large part of the plan secret, while successfully formulating practical and just solutions to the Israeli-Palestinian issue that will be relevant for 2019. Trump's senior advisor and son-in-law, who is currently touring the Middle East together with the White House Middle East envoy Jason Greenblatt and the State Department's envoy on Iran, Brian Hook, underscored the four pillars which provide a foundation to the long-awaited American initiative, including freedom, respect, opportunity, and security. Kushner noted that in contrast to previous international attempts to resolve the highly complex conflict, the main emphasis of the current initiative does not focus as much on the issues, but rather presents both Israel and the Palestinians with incentives to allow them to achieve their full potential and eliminate hurdles that hindered their much-aspired global integration. To viably tackle the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, however, Kushner underscored the importance of a unified Palestine instead of the current situation in which the Gaza Strip and the West Bank are separated in bitter rivalry. While there was no immediate response from the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah to TV7's request for comment, President Mahmoud Abbas made it clear on multiple occasions that he will preemptively reject any American plan. The Palestinian leader's declared position remains that unless U.S. President Donald Trump retracts his policy vis-à-vis the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and accepts preliminary demands on the issues of borders and refugees, the Palestinians will shun any initiative presented by Washington. While the Israeli Prime Minister's office refused to respond to TV7's request for comment on the interview, Kushner's remarks on the so-called deal of the century immediately prompted a battle of accusations between the newly formed New Right faction that is headed by Education Minister Naftali Bennett and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's ruling Likud party. In an interview to Israel's Army Radio, Minister Bennett warned that there is a clear and present danger that may lead to the establishment of a Palestinian state. He claimed that the day after the election, the Americans will push for a Netanyahu-Lapid-Gantz government that will facilitate founding a Palestinian state on Route 6 and partitioning Jerusalem, and Netanyahu will be compelled to toe the line. In response to the statement that a central Likud committee member referred to in a conversation with TV7 as a cynical election-oriented attempt to picture the prime minister as a weak leader, the Likud released a statement in which it underscored that Prime Minister Netanyahu was making it unambiguously clear that he will form a right-wing government. The Likud statement further stressed that Prime Minister Netanyahu protected the land and the state of Israel from the hostile Obama administration and underscored that he will continue to do so with the supportive Trump administration. Now in other news pertaining to Israel's upcoming April elections, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has successfully orchestrated an alliance of far-right parties that include the Otzma Yehudit faction, which derives its policies from the late anti-Arab politician Rabbi Meir Kahane, whose party Kach was banned in 1994 and dubbed by Israeli authorities as a terrorist organization. Prime Minister Netanyahu defended his decision to welcome the Otzma Yehudit faction into his right-wing alliance as a way to improve his chances of forming a government coalition led by his Likud party after the April 9th elections. Such a right-wing bloc, Netanyahu claimed, would best protect Israel's security from growing regional challenges. The move is viewed as an attempt to counter the rising power of the centrist bloc, which is led by the Israel Resilience Party of former IDF Chief of Staff Benny Gantz and Yesh Atid Chairman Yair Lapid, whose own political merge gained the upper hand in recent polls, winning 36 mandates compared to 30 of Netanyahu's Likud. In an unprecedented response to the Prime Minister's decision to accept the Otzma Yehudit party into his right-wing bloc, the powerful pro-Israeli American lobbies, AIPAC, and the American Jewish Committee have voiced harsh criticism, warning Netanyahu of dangerous consequences to the move.
We usually do not interfere in elections. However, in this case, our voice needs to be heard. We care about Israel. We love Israel. Israel is a strong, vibrant democracy, a party which is based on racist, Kahanist values, we think should not be a part of the Israeli government. However, we understand that it's up to the Elections Committee to decide who will be a part of that government or not. We're not intervening. We're merely stating our voice, a voice of the Jewish diaspora, the biggest Jewish diaspora outside of Israel.
The chairman of Otzma Yehudit rejected the criticism against his party, however, claiming that he receives a lot of support from Jews and non-Jews in the United States, whom understand the importance of the Bible and God's promises to the Jewish people and the land of Israel.
I get a lot of support from Jews and non-Jews in the United States that support us. People that believe in the Bible and know that everything we say is written in the Bible, and that's the promise God gave Abraham, that the land will be for his descendants, for the Jewish people. And we're back here in our roots, where everything started.
It is important to know that while the Otzma Yehudit faction claims to derive its political decision-making from the Bible, its chairman Baruch Marzel, together with the faction's other members, have been staunch activists in persecution of Christians and Messianic Jews in Israel, including in their latest attempt to ban a YMCA-organized event in Jerusalem that invited Jewish and Christian children to partake in joint activities. Now, in other news, the United Kingdom has announced its decision to include the political wing of the Iranian-proxy Hezbollah on Britain's list of terror organizations. The unprecedented move was made after British authorities said they can no longer distinguish between the organization's military and political wings, which are both funded by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Following the announcement, Home Secretary Sajid Javid stressed that his decision to proscribe the group in its entirety emanated from the fact that Hezbollah was continuing in its attempts to destabilize the fragile situation in the Middle East. In response to the British decision, however, EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini declared that the European Union does not see eye to eye with its soon-to-be former member. In a joint press conference with her Lebanese counterpart during a visit to Beirut today, Mogherini emphasized that the European Union's position is well known and is not changing.
The decision that the UK Interior Minister announced today is a national decision of, yes, a member state, still a member state, but still it's a national domestic decision. It doesn't affect the European Union position. That is well known and is not changing.
Thank you for watching us. Keep praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. I'm Jonathan Hassan. Have an Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.